They got decent yellow rolls.
Yeah, two
Okay.
content, two buzzes.
Boone's is a little bit sus, but he can go pyro, so
Yeah,
that'll solve all his problems for the first six waves.
and that's all you need, right? Because then you can just re-roll at that point and hope to get something new. I think it's pretty solid. Like both of them have their early game covered, and they just need to hope to get something decent in the re-roll, but they don't need to waste that. Oh, having said that, Boone has already used his re-roll. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He must have used it immediately.
Oh, you see the snails coming in.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Well, Toikan's going to enjoy that with his Daphne. And unless Boone opens with Consort, he also doesn't have anything that's going to leak to us.
And King has got his classic Top Gun.
Yeah.
The classic.
It's got, pretty good roll around the gun. Not a real direct answer for 13, but solid early game cheap tanks like the Buckler and the Peewee, and then the Gate Guard, which is really strong for 6 and 9.
Yeah. It's not an amazing gun roll. I think you need like Gargoyle for it to be an amazing gun roll, but it's definitely a good one.
That's a decent one. He's just lacking some kind of like secondary carry.
Yeah.
Like the Gate Guard is somewhat decent for like the early waves, like 9 or 6, but after like starting like at wave 13 he will start to struggle unless he finds a secondary carry.
Yeah. The good thing is they have the eggs, which can manipulate how the sending will happen, so they can try and use them to protect their waves.
Oh, by the way, Boone's reroll, by the way, very good actually. Like this looks like a good greed roll. Never mind a YOLO roll.
6 income greed, always fairly strong.
Yeah. That's a really good roll, actually. A really good roll.
Something to note is Widder's not going to be able to go 5 workers unless he's getting 40 out, and all of these openers are fairly fast.
They're going for the snails. So...
yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So it is somewhat RNG, this setup that Boone can hold. So we have to see how this one goes.
I honestly think he sent it just to give Widderson time to get his 40 out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that works too.
Yeah. Because otherwise Widderson can't go 5 workers. Oh, never mind, he stays 4.
Oh, he's playing it safe, okay. Because the chance of the Green Devil holds and he doesn't get the 40 out, then he's just fucked.
Yeah.
So he really needs like at least 1 gold here to get this Waltz Maiden.
And
which
he would have gotten it, but...
Yeah, and there he goes, he pushes the worker as soon as he sees the leak.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice. Boone goes to 6.
Worth noting, there is Dark Ritual and Venture, so we can probably assume some eggs gonna pop at 11-12.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting.
And Boone not sending here, by the way. He's gonna have a ton of pressure for Widderson on wave 5.
Thing is, he also needs to hold the foresight when it does come.
I mean, he gets another resend here from Danz again, which I think he's just totally fine against, right? Like this second buzz that he added, just getting in the damage on the DT, just gives him a free hold.
Let's see if he decides to go 7 workers or not.
Oh, and Danz leaks to the snails. Yeah, that's what I mean. So without having a gargoyle, he just didn't have the perfect unit on 3.
Yeah, he chose to pre-build the Buckler, hoping that it's not a full send, but Toikan went for the 60.
I think he just didn't want to build 3 Peewees, right?
Exactly, yeah. He just accepted that he leaks small to 60, just for the trade-off of not having to build much on 4.
Alright, Boone did go to 7 workers, he did save his Mythium. So what is Widderson's answer now to 5? Like, I guess all he can really do is drop a couple of bucklers, and it's just not going to be enough.
Yeah, Widder is going to have a lot of issues on 5.
Yeah.
Funny to think about is that Widder's full shifting here, and Boone could have sent him imps in income. And it would have completely just wrecked him.
Oh no, he built.
He built it.
Widderson actually pushed 6 workers into the no-send, by the way. I didn't see when that happened, but he might come to regret that next wave.
It's
Well,
respectable, because on 5 workers you're probably still gonna leak.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no real... I mean, he would get one additional doctor, which I don't think helps him very much.
Here come the Zen.
This way he sent a dino in income, right? So that's fairly nice. Has a little bit
Yeah.
more pressure.
Yeah.
That's true. But we see 160 cent coming into Wither.
It's not very nice.
Yes, that will hurt. That will hurt. But Kingdanzz should be able to cover pretty well.
Toikan
he's
is
got the-
hardening.
This value.
This Mudman should tank most of the way. If the definitely just tanks the boss, I think he should get pretty nice focus there.
And Boone should be fine against this brute with the hardened mudman as well.
So these guys should both be fine on the YOLO side. And if we have a look, so Widderson did actually re-roll the Pilgrim, which is one of the best units on wave 5, but even that wasn't enough.
Yeah. He's gonna get wrecked here, but he's gonna accept it and
Yeah.
still be in an
7
okay spot.
workers.
Oh,
And Kingdanzz,
actually
meanwhile, he's just
sniped the
smurfing.
brute.
Look at this aggro in his lane.
yeah, he just
Perfect
sniped the
damage
brutes
split there.
perfectly. Very nice. But they're still
Very,
taking
very
some king damage.
And Boone just holds there at the end. Yeah, they take some king damage, but if King didn't hold here, they would have taken a ton.
Yeah, wave 5 can be brutal on the king.
Especially when there's imps involved, right?
And no kings from their snails on him as well.
So they just
Ooh,
shaved
the
off
resents.
20%. Resents from everybody.
I guess they saw these dehardens and looking for a snack.
That's respectable.
Boone is probably gonna sell and just build a nightmare. He didn't overpush. Understands like what he has to do to
Yeah.
get this out.
We can
And
also
now
get
he's really
Nightmare
strong
down.
on 7. Actually, they both get the nightmare out.
Everyone is overvalued except Kingdanzz.
What a god. And
What an
even
absolute
King's
gem.
pre-building for next while we're building, so smart guy.
Right, let's check Toikan's lane because he received the brute, so possibly the one who's in the most danger. Although he is 35 overvalued.
Yeah, so he
Something-
should.
He's got
fall
some pretty
very
janky
easily.
aggro though.
Yeah,
He's just fine, right? He's totally fine.
yeah, he has a lot of swift tanks.
Looks like the only person who would have actually leaked would have been King to a real scent, but it was
Yeah.
just thinking King.
Like if this 80 send was brute snail, Kingdanzz probably leaks a couple of creeps.
Hmm.
And maybe that's not even worth. I think the income is just respectable there from Toikan.
Yeah, they don't necessarily want long waves, as they might decide to shift for double.
Yeah.
Jules is actually heavily favouring Boone and Toikan at the moment. 65% win chance on the right hand side. I think that's maybe a bit too optimistic. It doesn't feel like they're that far ahead. Like they are ahead, sure, but not 65%.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
King in
well-
his pretty good spot.
They do have a one worker advantage and
Yeah.
a little higher value around fort, but yeah, I wouldn't say it's that big of a difference.
Now, Widderson, his current build looks really vulnerable on 9, I would say. Like, we can see that he's got Millennium in his role, but Boone doesn't know about that.
You shifted for the for the chieftain here probably.
I wonder if Boone goes for Ascend here. This long wave. The King and
If he
Widderson are both
does,
going
it's-
for income.
Yeah, they're probably just all going for income unless they save for 9. Yeah, they're saving for
They-
9.
Right, now, this might be a big turning point here because Boone and Toikan, I expect them both to hold against this income send, and now they're really in the driving seat after this, right? Because they can just do whatever they want. They can push hard workers and go for 9, or they could even just decide to go longer if they want to.
Yeah, well, 10 is hard against the Wither and King's build, so 11 would be an option, well, but there is Dark Ritual. So they will probably just decide to go for the 9 cent, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they also feel that they're not, they don't need to go for anything crazy
exactly.
and starve themselves.
They know they're ahead, so they will just try to get a small advantage here, 9 maybe. If it's only small leaks, it's still very fine for them.
Yep.
And then
That's
you
what we're
can
talking.
just look for a longer save for like wave 13.
I will say King's board is getting wrecked by imps pretty hard.
That is very true.
Oh,
And I'm not sure if he rerolled yet.
He did, right? He has
Yeah,
the Zerk now.
he has Zerka now. But he doesn't have the gate card anymore, which would have been really nice from here.
Yeah, I mean, best he can do is just some tanks.
the imps are very good against Kingdanzz, but he's 1100 value with
Toikan
3
will get a
royal guards
second
here.
pair as well.
Yeah. Or second pair, that's actually really big.
Yeah,
It's very
that's
big.
a lot of imps.
And 260 walking into Widderson's lane as well. This is going to be an interesting one. Oh, but the ogre going on to the royal guards, so that's a bit of a waste of damage there.
Don't love the ogre, considering
Oh, that
all
priestess
the...
staying
the
alive!
Pilgrim.
Oh, it goes down.
That was a beautiful Pilgrim.
The thing about the ogre is that it is a lot of king damage when it gets through.
Yeah. I mean, he's leaking, but he did really well.
Yeah, they did really well, but they're also both leaking, which
Yeah.
will result in some king damage and just gives Toikan and Boone a free card to 13 now.
Yeah.
It's interesting that Witter chose to save instead of incoming. Maybe he just felt like it wouldn't have given him anything, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, well,
Kind of surprised that he didn't go for king upgrades, though, right?
yeah.
Alright, let's see what Jules has to say now. 68% for Boone and Toikan. And now I think I'm starting to agree with him.
Yeah, now it's looking a lot in Toikan
Yeah,
and Boone's
they
favor.
both can get their doppels out here.
Yeah. Toikan and Boone both on shutdown as well.
Well, Boone is a bit awkward. He was one gold
Oh.
off the doppel. He doesn't have a cheap unit to sell. So
I think
he's
it's
just going
fine
for
not to
gate.
take the doppel as well, right? Because it's kind
Yeah,
of weak
it's
on
not
11.
Fine.
Yeah,
But-
Toikan's got this way for sure.
I really doubt King and Widder will give up the pressure, so they probably won't send 11.
Yeah.
Because if they do, then it's just really bad for them.
At least
Yeah,
King
if
and
they
Widderson
don't-
have got a really value Dark Ritual.
Yeah,
That's
but
fair.
I also wonder if they might just try to risk it and take the venture.
Yeah.
Looking at Boone's lane, it looks like they could have claimed a shutdown by sending a dino or two.
They
That was
could've.
pretty close.
Everyone's saving. And we see King already taking the Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
Mm.
Widderson's really far behind now on the power score.
Yeah, that early game's kind of put him behind on workers, and then he didn't really recover. Like, just it happened again on 9 that he leaked hard.
Hmm.
These YOLO gods just showing Team Abrasiert how to play here.
Okay, so we see Hardens on the...
Okay,
But
so they
the-
did expect the 11 send. But to be fair, both of them are just gods on 12, right?
Yeah, exactly, so that's why they're hardened. They're not really scared of 12.
And
No.
Toikan went Giant Snail, Witter went Giant Snail, and Boone took Dark Ritual at the last second.
So I wonder if he's gonna see some 12 cents here, maybe.
Yeah, I mean... Witter is definitely
Yeah.
not the strongest on 12.
Yeah.
King is
Oh,
probably
they are,
just...
they are going.
They
for
do
it.
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
both teams are going for the 12 cents. Probably just to make sure that nobody gets a free venture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like Boone is just a god here, though. Like, he's got the Dark
Yeah.
Ritual gold, he's got Consorts, Mudmen, Doppelganger.
So in theory he should hold, but sometimes Doppel just decides to die. So
Yeah.
let's see
True, true.
how that will go.
yeah, I mean, they're both on value, but obviously, accidents can happen.
This is just King's best way by a long way, though. He's got the
Yeah.
tanks, he's got the damage. I think he should just hold against this send.
Yeah, he will do really well.
I wonder if we'll see some eggs after this, if they do hold cleanly.
I would expect so, right?
Yeah, they probably need to do some eggs because they're really weak on 15, so they kind of need to protect eggs.
So Boone is just holding as expected. Toikan will leak, though, and that is shut down, 25 gold.
Oh, we see it. leaks on
Kingdanzz
both
actually leaked
King
as well.
and Widder.
That is some decent...
Yeah,
Cool.
so
I actually expected Kingdanzz to hold here.
Will do some damage.
Oh, their king's dropping so low now.
Yeah, egg will be risky, and the benefit they could have is that Toikan and Boone might not go for a hard push if they want a 15.
Mm-hmm. Oh, King and Widder are pushing everything, so they're looking for a 14.
They're actually, yeah.
They're going for a 14
as
undercut.
well.
They just understand that they just lose on 15, so they're just trying to undercut them.
I wonder if Boone and Toikan will read this. If they're paying attention to King and Widderson's units, then maybe.
Yeah, the thing I'm worried about is I think King might just not hold no sense.
On this
He's
wave,
on
yeah,
really high value, to be fair, but
yeah.
But he just has 0 damage on this wave.
Exactly.
But now that he added this Pee-wee...
Oh yeah, he
now he holds.
Yeah, that's the difference maker.
Actually,
Wow.
Widder just killed all his DPS.
Oh, Widder has a whole lot of DPS roller guards.
Oh,
he does have the Zerker, I forgot about
the
that.
ones
the
that are still
Zerker,
alive
yeah.
in there, yeah. I think
think
if there's
if
a pro
they-
league here, Toikan and Boone will read it and they will send.
I think if they look at how he's holding, even if he held somehow, this is very suspicious.
Yeah, I think they will realize what's happening.
Come on.
Even with the
They
crazy
do.
push.
They do. They see it.
Yeah, they realize it. So they're just not taking any chances, just playing it safe. Because even if the game goes on after this, they're still in a really good position.
Well, I'm pretty sure the game doesn't go on after this. This is going to be a race. I don't know which side is going to win, but I'm pretty certain it's a race. I'd love to see Boone and Toikan just harden as well.
Yeah, and Boone is even on value to begin with, so that's always a good start.
Yeah.
And
He's
his
actually
units are
overvalued.
ridiculous.
He's over.
But Widderson's selling. He's just full pushing everything here.
Yeah, fair enough. He's not the holder.
Yeah,
They
King,
don't harden.
King isn't either with his value.
Boone and Toikan do
they
not
were
harden
just
here.
holding. They were just hoping that they don't receive a send here.
Yeah.
But
Well, this
Boone
is
and
going to be a
Toikan
close one.
shredded.
Widderson obviously first to leak.
But King is getting run
King's
down.
going to be second to leak, so that's just game.
Yeah.
Really well played.
I love that King and Widderson played to their outs here with this risky all-in for 14, but good counter read there by Boone and Toikan, not taking chances, going for the send on 14, not saving to 15, and that gives them the win here.
Yeah, and a really clean game from Boone, I gotta say. Held every one of the tryhard sends, and leaked
Very, very
Widder
clean.
really hard.
Look at this 0.6% leak on Boone versus 29.3 on Widderson. Yeah.
Yeah, the wave 5 was just brutal.
Boone God Gamer confirmed. Let's flip through some of those waves and have a look. So Boone leaked a single whale on wave 2. That was the only creep he leaked in the entire game, by the way. And then we see a bit of a leak from King on 3. This massive leak from Widderson on 5. So they take an early advantage off the back of that already. And then they just go straight 9 with this crushing send from both Boone and Toikan. And King and Widderson, both of them actually did quite well against those sends, but they still go down below 50% King HP.
Exactly.
And then
they
from
never
there,
had the option to place their eggs, which is
yeah, they just
really good for them.
didn't give them any
when
breathing
you're
room, right?
behind.
They never let off the pressure from Boone and Toikan.
Exactly.
If they ever go for like income King on any wave, then probably King and Widderson can just start to build some eggs for a comeback, but they just never gave them that chance. We saw this big send here on 12, almost killing King and Widderson, and then they just go for this. To be fair, nice call from King and Widderson to do this all-in play for 14. They know this is their one chance to win, and they go for it. Didn't work out this time, but that doesn't mean it's not a good play. Toikan and Boone made a good read there. They do go for the try-hard send on 14, and that's enough to give them the win. So well played, Boone and Toikan. Now 1-0 up against King and Widderson.
I'm just wondering if they would have sent 14 if Widder didn't leak.
Yeah. it can be tough, but I think if you see someone holding like very, very barely, it
Yeah,
crosses your mind.
very much does.
Because I will say most people do not go for overbuild full shifts, which can be really powerful if you do trick people to sending into you, but it's just really risky if you don't know exactly what's going to happen, or maybe your main carry gets sniped while you're doing it.
Yeah. Right, do we have... Okay, the lobby's open, by the way, so...
Oh, yeah.
Kingdanzz letting Boone know that he had a nice yellow roll.
Not that he's salty at all.
Yes.
So I was starting to persuade myself that Boone and Toikan were favoured before the start of Game 1. And now after seeing how well they played there, I actually give them a pretty decent edge to take the series. Kingdanzz and Widderson are going to need to improve their play a little bit to bring this one back, I think.
I think one thing just from the early game that might change is in that game, King like DT'd Boone on 3. And that just let Boone straight 5 on Widder, so we might see a little more caution, knowing that Boone is someone who's willing to just skip 3 and go straight 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
We see some interesting yellow rolls, not nearly as crazy, but...
Yeah, well, Boone at least has the Zerker with the Serpent, so that's a decent start for him. But
he's got other options as well, like Necromata and Infiltrator is a very solid pairing.
True.
The problem for him is that every single one of his units are Swift or Arcane, which can be a problem on waves that deal pierce damage.
True. He'll have to reroll at some point. It's just... Oh, he has gone through a wave 1 reroll already. I don't think we can see his new units yet. We can't.
Yeah, sort of Toikan.
But probably both of them searching for tier 1 units, or certainly for Boone, he's looking for a natural or a fortified tank.
And Toikan's got one of his favorite units, the Elite Archer, so I would imagine he's trying to play something around the Elite Archer in the Infiltrator early game.
Yeah, and there's Sorcerer, so I'm pretty
sure. Oh yeah, for sure.
He's gonna play the Elite Archer.
And we see Widder has the option to take Elite Archer as well, and he has some solid units with it as well. The Poly...
Boone's actually going for Infiltrator and Serpent. Oh no, he changed his mind, he's back to the cat. So this would leak pretty badly versus a snail, but Kingdanzz goes for the king upgrade this time.
Yeah, Boone didn't really find anything good in his reroll, it seems. So...
He's got the Leviathans for his fortified tank.
With no flying synergy.
Toikan did get tier 1, by the way. He got the Seedling, which is actually very, very strong, I think.
Toikan has a really great roll now.
Yeah.
He has answers for every single wave.
Maybe we'll see a little bit of a Starvey from Boone to try and enable Toikan to carry with this roll.
Even that Graal as well, giving him options to go for an easy Sovereign or Banana Punk whenever he wants one of those.
Yeah, it also solves his problem of having no Arcane tank, which will be really helpful on 14-15.
Yeah, true. Who needs Arcane when you've got Ocean Templar, right?
Yep. On the other hand, we had some pretty high push openers. Like King will probably go 6 workers after this. And Widder, of course, with the 5 worker Angler boys.
Widderson is being tested here.
Splits. Yeah, he went for the Angler split, which is pretty smart. Because if you put the Angler behind the Walshun, then there's a chance it doesn't tank, which would result in a leaker, but this way it should result, I think.
Walshun did face tanks, but he should be okay.
Actually, this one's going to win the split fight and then come over to help. I think that's just enough, right?
It's a beautiful split by Widder.
Yeah, very, very good call there. Look at that damage split. Absolutely perfect for him. He couldn't ask for better than that. And now he's 6 workers with anglers.
Wow, 6 workers, that is... And Boone is not sending, so he's getting rewarded for that super push.
Yeah. But Boone did go for a resend here. If he goes for a second snail, I think Widderson will leak pretty badly.
Yeah, if he does go for the second snail, then it will be a bit of an issue.
Well, he's got the 20 Mythium. Is he going to go for it?
Let's see.
Come on, Boone and Toikan, go for your full sends. No, they don't.
Toikan went for it, but Boone didn't.
But yeah, with the koi there, he's gonna clap this send, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Widderson's going to be very relieved not to get the second snail there. He would have been in so much trouble.
Yeah. And this time around, we have the saves on 3 from Witter and King. So now they have all the pressure. Probably looking
Kingdanzz
for a
will
5
leak
send.
here, though. It's not the worst leak. He's still clearing up a couple of things with a serpent
Oh,
there,
wow.
33%. And Widderson, can the shroom out-heal these creeps? I think it can.
It can. So
I'm very
really
surprised
don't
King leaked
win.
there, actually.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the Fire Archer holds 60 as well. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
or, which is less value, even.
I think his serpent just didn't tank any of the wave.
yeah, it only pulled 1 creep.
So the Bone Crusher died too quickly.
Oh.
It didn't get enough value out of his
Ooh.
creature.
Put away 4 imps and Dino Snail.
Imps on 4, that is a tricky one to hold.
Yeah, imps into Toikan. Well, and all his tanks kind of for this wave are natural. And
Do you know what he
Will
could do?
spell
He could
this,
sell
or-
a seedling and just get a second archer. That would be pretty crazy.
Or he's going for Growl, probably.
He's going to go for the
Yeah.
growl, but then that's going to bite him when these imps walk into the
Yeah.
lane.
This would be the right play if you expect a 5 send.
Yeah.
But
And if those imps get to the king, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, for sure. Imps on 4 is going to deal serious king damage.
the Archer is doing a good job of off-tanking
And it
one
is
of the
tanking
imps.
one of the imps, yeah. Oh wow, Token's actually doing really well.
He's doing really well, but not.
44% there. But
Boone
Boone's
is-
just full.
God gamer?
Boone's just full holding. And actually, Kingdanzz leaks nearly as much, and Widderson's leaking too.
Oh.
So they're going to take more king damage here from the income sense.
They
Yeah.
will.
Because
On
Boone's
the
going to
plus
clear up
side-
both of these chickens. He won't kill the imps, but that's fine.
They do have the worker lead now with King on 8 workers. But they did take marking damage, so
He did. It's still pretty close. But Jules already giving the edge over to Boone and Toikan once again.
But to be fair, Toikan does have the Flower Pixie, so he does somewhat have like a.
yeah, fair
workers.
enough. And we see Boone go to 8 now.
Yeah.
He is getting a resend, but he's fairly close to value, even with all these Swift Arcane units. It should be okay.
Yeah, maybe he should have considered boosting that infiltrator.
Ooh,
but-
he's
Or
getting
the
80
double
actually.
DT resend. This is
Yeah,
going to be
this-
trouble now for Boone.
Yeah, he really had to boost that infiltrator to
Yeah.
kill the Scorpion King as quick as possible.
He's going to leak pretty decently here, I think.
On the plus side, Token will actually cover easily.
That helps.
He's gonna snack both the DTs.
Is
Oh,
he? I don't think he's
I
going to get
lied.
that one. That's a little bit unfortunate there for
I
him.
may have lied about that.
I think you jinxed it, dude.
The Cassacres.
So Boone going for the 53% leak. I think King will be happy with that result. Alright, here's
Everyone's
some
going for the
big
wave six.
income sends coming out on 6. There's 100 going into King's lane, but he's going to be over 600 value. There's also 120 going into Toikan's lane.
Would be fine for King if he just upgrades this, or he's... Oh, he's just going for the Avenger. Okay, well then he's for sure gonna be fine here.
He's definitely... Yeah, so Toikan is going to be very happy with this Cannoneer here.
Using the Fire Archer for its intended purpose.
Pawn chop.
Of course.
Exactly.
And there's also an Avenger in Toiken's lane. So he'll just be fine as well.
But Toikan kind of ready. He actually adds a King up into that send there, so he doesn't decide to go for a leak against King, knowing that
Yeah.
he's shifted on 5. Toikan also holding his own lane very comfortably against the Cannoneer King ups from Widderson.
Now we see some aggressive pushes from everyone, going up to 10.
More income. This game is so, like, snowbally at the moment. This is just the
Yeah.
opposite of some of the games we saw yesterday, which were very, like, starvy. These guys are just pushing hard, sending income, trying to take this to the late game. And actually, Kingdanzz, he now has the Butcher in his role as well.
Now King actually has a really juicy role.
Really nice role, yeah. That lifesteal Sovereign. And what's really important is that he still has Serpent in his role. So the one kind of weakness of the Sovereign with lifesteal obviously is 4 eyes. But if you've got a couple of deep coilers, that's not really a weakness anymore.
Yep. And he has great tanks for it as well, the Mudmen and the Gargs.
Yep. Alright, this game's looking really even between the two teams. We've got almost identical workers on both sides. Very, very similar income levels as well. Just too close to call right now.
Yeah, both teams are just playing really calculated, going for income king a lot.
Yeah.
Not really trying to break their opponents just yet.
I feel like this game seems a lot closer than the first match, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So far, there hasn't been a pressure lead either way, besides that big 4-cent, which ended up not working out.
So
and in fact,
Kingdanzz value is actually very low here.
Yeah, but he's only getting an income send. I think he's completely fine with this deep coiler. It's just going to smack the wave.
Yeah, he's really strong here, but
I would have liked to see something like maybe a mole from Toikan just to gut check him, because it's not gonna the little income you lose isn't that bad compared to testing a king to make sure he has a real answer that isn't just the coiler.
Yeah, definitely would have been worth it to try that. But it still might result in a weakness.
The coiler is taking some focus,
getting
but
turned on.
This split gargoyle is just...
Oh, now the coiler is getting attacked.
I think it doesn't matter. I think he's killed enough already.
Yeah, he did. Might leak like one creep or something. It's nothing big.
Well, the Avenger's about to pop off. Here he goes with his bam bam bams. That's an easy hold.
And the little bone warrior.
Yeah,
support damage.
He's helping guys.
We see double imp.
Double imp, and how is Boone going to cope with this?
He does not have great units for this wave, but...
Yes.
Well, he's building his fortified tank.
Think he might just... yeah, he probably needs to build those Tempests just for tank value, which kind of sucks for him.
He can't afford it though. He needed to send like a 40 cent here to be able to get the Tempest. The Millennium, sorry.
Oh yeah, the Millennium, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think 3 Tempests are going to help him very much here against this 260 send on 9.
Yeah, that is very rough.
He has at least got one of them to tank a little bit, so the Orchid can deal some damage.
Yeah, he's protecting his Orchid really well.
But actually, this is exactly what Ofma said at the start of the game, right? Boone just doesn't have units that aren't Swift and Arcane, so he's very vulnerable on Pierce Waves. King has spotted that and punished him for it.
The thing is, when you know your opponent is playing YOLO, you can start to figure out that they don't have an answer for some waves.
Yeah.
And then you can really target.
The silver lining is that this leak will kill Toikan's double pixie, so that's 16 more Mythium for him.
And speaking of Mythium, they have quite a bit.
They have quite a bit, yeah. And he's about to get all of the... and he's only got 2 pixies. Oh, I've got to point this out actually in Toikan's lane. This bunk placement here is going to make it really difficult for him to kill those pixies.
Yeah,
I actually really don't like that. I feel like he should have built his bunk here and just had a split only full of pixies.
Yeah, it is rough with the Archer because you kind of want a lot of tank value in the split with the Archer, so you buy time for the Archer.
I mean, that's true, but you can maybe achieve the same just by having, like, 5 pixies there to delay.
Yeah, but those aren't really very stat efficient.
Yeah.
So I guess you could go for, like, a low worker full pixie build, which is kind of awkward. So maybe he just doesn't really care about the pixie value that much.
But right now, he's got 200 gold worth of units that are low statted and are not giving him Mythium.
Yeah, it's suboptimal.
Big sense.
Big sense. So income only from King and Widderson. Expect some king upgrades as well. But we have full tryhard sends from Boone and Toikan. There's 4 eyes going into Widderson's lane. There's Ghost Knight going into Kingdanz's lane.
GK snailed, which is, I guess, fair enough since King already showed his upper split.
He already has a high split.
Yeah.
He even went for the. He just turned into a crusher.
Yeah. So
And we
both...
see the wolf.
Widderson's actually
and-
going to be on value.
The problem is his value is slightly fake on 11.
Yeah, with the kingpins.
Yeah, and he's not even getting a full Orchid boost, which is really nice, and I'm fairly certain the Seraphim is gonna die.
Yeah, that probably just dies there. Yeah. So that, it's not looking too good for Widder there.
The pull helps.
The full rise
But-
definitely helps. Let's see if he gets on the 4-rise, because if he does, then he can stun it
Yeah.
and take out all of that damage. Oh, he's not on the 4-rise yet. And now he is. Let's see if he gets some stuns in. Oh, he's
Oh,
been
no
really
stuns.
unlucky.
He has missed it.
4 hits it took to get a stun. And he gets that 80%
Oh,
lead
and the
there.
Ghost Knight is staying alive? Or
Oh,
is it?
oh,
the
Dark
Dark
Knight
Knight
killed
killed
it.
the Ghost Knight! What a hero!
Beautiful.
And unsurprisingly, Boone got wrecked on the Pierce wave.
Yeah, once again.
And even the worst part about his build is that DTs completely destroy him in range waves. Like, he literally can't do anything.
Yeah, he just can't do anything, right? The Tempest
do come
lose
out
all of
ahead,
their
though.
value. The Tempest lose all of their value, but also his boost loses all of its value against DTs as well. It's just
I would
such
imagine.
a value send.
We see 14 cents?
It's interesting you put the Pulverize on the Arcades. I don't think I've seen that one before.
He
I
just
have
doesn't
done
really
it
have a great time.
by accident?
Yeah, when you maybe he tried to boost it and he did it.
Yeah, like, that is entirely
Because-
possible considering he has a Millennium in his role.
Yeah.
I think maybe he just wanted some value for Wave 11, right? Like he's expecting...
That would
Yeah,
be fair.
maybe.
They only
Yeah,
received
okay.
income and he still leaked half the wave.
Yeah, that's true.
So if that was
Yeah,
a full
I-
send from Kingdanzz, he would have leaked massively. I think he just
This
wanted
region
some extra damage.
Could indicate that it's going to be a long save, or longer save.
Yeah. When do we think the players want to go now? Because Toikan's looking very strong. Oh, actually, look at this. Toikan's Sorcerer is on his Haven, not on his Trinity Archer.
Yeah,
It
it makes
is-
sense. It's a more expensive unit, right?
Yeah.
It is. I think there are comparable values.
And again, it's definitely better value for him on 11. So maybe similar to Boone, you know, going for the
Yeah.
Pulverizer on his Orchid instead of the Berserker or the
Exactly.
Millennium. He's just thinking, well, I need the value right now, so I'm going to put it on my Haven.
It's true.
We're just full building for 14, 15, understanding that 13 is
Yeah.
not a possibility with this unit in the game.
16 would be amazing against Kingdanzz and Widderson. It's just whether Boone and Toikan can ever get there.
Yeah, I think we will just see both teams going for 15, honestly.
Yeah, neither team is pushed enough to go for, I think, a huge 14 cents. But, I mean, King has a good amount of workers, and Witters didn't full send on 11, so he has actually quite a bit of mythic.
Well,
And
here
they-
it comes. It's wave 14. So let's see. Oh, Toikan and Boone, they go for
Oh.
income. So this time the roles are reversed. These guys are going for the income King. King and Widderson are going for the break. But with Boone getting the Doomsday machine out, and actually Leviathan Tempest very good on 14 as well. So this...
The one problem for him is that he's getting 2 ogres, which completely wreck all his units, besides Orchid.
True, true. But I
But
think
he has a
this
shot
is-
of killing the wave.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, the
Boone's
Doomsday
best wave, right?
did really well.
And this is Toikan's really strong here as well. I give these guys a decent chance of holding or at least leaking very small.
Yeah, I think Toikan might just full holds.
Yeah, Toikan is so good on this wave.
The sends are
These
big.
units
There's
are incredible.
540 walking to Boone. There's 580 for Toikan. Let's see what happens.
All instantly.
His bunk dies really quickly.
Oh, the
Sniping
Archer is
those.
staying alive even. For Toikan there.
Absolute
beautiful.
legend.
Oh, that is insane. Just look at that Archer. 4% HP, getting out so much extra damage. That's an easy hold for Toikan because of this.
Yeah, that's the difference maker.
That's so clutch.
And Boone doing a pretty good job, sniped an
Yeah.
ogre, killed all the way.
Yeah, so they're
that's
basically
really
not
good.
taking any king damage while they send income king, so they're now really far ahead in their income.
And now Boone and Toikan can think about 16 if they want to, or even longer.
To be fair, they're not actually. They are ahead from that trade, but King is actually
Yeah.
on insane workers.
Yeah.
King had a lot of workers pushed, so he does actually have the income lead.
And will we just see a 16 finish with this amount of push?
Well, we don't see a lot of push on Boone and Toikan, so I think they might try to go for some overbuild play.
Yeah, and it's fair. They have the king ups already. Like 16 is manageable.
Yeah,
And especially with like AoE type units. And
True.
same here.
Just like Boone doesn't really have a great tank for 16, which might...
Yeah, he's got the Orchids or the Theta, I guess, as his best tank. But he might just commit to this full DPS build and just try and do as much of the wave as possible. Let's see what they go for.
We also did see Toikan shift some value, so that might lead them into sending...
I think they're trying to bait that 16 send, yeah.
Exactly.
Can work really well. Or they're just sending 16.
They are just sending themselves while not having pushed any workers.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Well, Kingdanzz and Widderson are both just going to be on insane value. So King's going to be over 4k. Actually, both of them are going to be over 4k.
Yeah,
Trying to find the line that they want after this? 18?
Maybe 18?
Perhaps?
Like, Kingdanzz looks pretty weak on 18, and Toikan... Widderson is probably their best hope there, if he just goes for, like, Orchid spam or something.
The thing is, I think they might have noticed that King literally has no damage as roll besides Sovereign and Coilers.
Yeah.
So like scaling the game out isn't the worst idea. Into something like 19 where they're actually quite strong.
But Boone, he gets 620 here, so he's got the biggest send to deal with. He also has the lowest value in the game right now. I think Boone's going to be in a little bit of trouble here.
He's getting wrecked, killed maybe half the wave and some of the sends, but
96%, but Toikan holds very comfortably.
Yeah.
Problem is he now has another entire wave to deal with in mid. Meanwhile, King and Widderson both holding.
So we already see Boone having... I mean, he didn't really get much gold, but he already pushed everything he got, so...
Yeah.
Maybe they will look for some kind of full push on Boone.
I think they have to go for 18 now if Boone's full pushing, right?
Yeah. I think they're just going for the full push. Oh, no, Boone stopped pushing.
I will say overbuilding is a bit of a challenge for Boone.
Yeah, it's really hard to overbuild with his units. Doesn't really have any strong waves.
We see both players prepping for 19, and we do see some overbuilding from King, and not necessarily overbuilding from Widderson. He's actually pushed quite aggressively.
I think they know that Toikan is the threat on 19, right? Because Toikan has Trinity Archers, he's got Havens, and Boone just has no hope on 19. He's got the Leviathan Tempest, which is really good, but just nothing to tank for it, and no other damage either.
Yeah.
Something to note, Widder is hiding his Havens. So he does have actually a really good tank for 19 that he just isn't showing.
But he does already have like 1000 value committed into damage.
18 is the call.
Yeah.
So will they match, or will they stay? So Toikan has a decent shot at holding 18, but Boone not so much.
Boone won't hold any wave at this point.
Yeah.
He has Fadas, which give him a chance to kill something, but
so
two Doomsdays.
Toikan is going for the Haven.
Oh.
Let's see.
Well, this is clutch now.
I really hope.
And Boone is also fully building for 19.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This might get a bit sketchy.
Because he could have dropped a Fatalizer here.
Yeah, well, we at least need those Orchid boosted.
Yeah, definitely.
We definitely don't want to see 700 gold shifted either.
No, yeah, Toikan, you've got to build, mate.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Okay, he's boosted. Come on, this one too.
Come on, boost it, Toikan, come on! No, he's so great.
Oh,
he
yeah,
does,
okay,
does.
he did it, he did it.
And-
Okay, let's see.
Let's see
how
whether or
good
not
18
wave 18 is still a wave. We're about to find out. Because by rights, the game should be over here.
Okay, so he has killed half the way.
Killed half, but only half.
Boone is killing 2
Boone's leaking
creeps.
everything.
Oh, sorry. He did get 2. Impressive.
Toikan is leaking as well. Does he get another chief? He does. But he's never killing that one.
They do have some king, and those well chiefs do not do a lot of damage to the king, but
Their
there's
single target
3
is really
4
good,
eyes and
actually.
2 shamans.
Yeah.
That is a decent amount of king
I
damage.
wonder what if they do. They probably just go for the 19% yard or
They do
Yeah.
get 90. And this is the problem with 18 right now. It just doesn't do enough single target damage. So even though these were 2 huge leaks, they survive. You know? And they survive with
And
13% king HP remaining.
We'll see the reads, but
recent.
Toikan will just clap this recent without even trying, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem I could foresee, if somehow Widder and King live this, these builds are not the best on 20 and 21.
Yeah.
Well,
Or,
Boone did go for a heavy push, so he will leak a lot here to that recent. So there
Yeah.
will be a race, most likely.
Going to be a
Yeah,
race,
good
but
call.
the problem is that King is the one that's holding the longest, I feel like, on the left side. Now,
Well, I
Widderson's
think
showing those...
Toikan will
Toikan
just hold.
full holds.
Yeah.
So it is probably just up to how long Toikan can stall in the middle.
I don't know if King can full hold though. Like, he's got the tank value with those
Yeah,
4 hardened columns, but he just doesn't have very much damage, is the problem.
Yeah, that is his issue. And this does a lot of impact damage.
Yeah.
Only the coil just
But
refused.
the coilers are surviving forever though, that's pretty clutch.
Yeah, that is true. It's
Now,
actually
Boone,
looking
obviously,
really
he's
good.
leaking everything. Toikan
Toikan is
holds.
holding, but not as good as I would have expected.
Look at Widder holding exceptionally
Widderson's
well.
doing insanely well against Boone's suicide push.
Oh wow. Yeah,
The 9 creeps, they're going to survive this though. And
yeah,
Toikan and
they
Boone
will
are not.
survive this, and Toikan will not be able to cover this in the middle. So
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
actually
is
goes to
King and
Widder.
Widderson. GG!
That was a very close game.
That
very
was
interesting.
super close. Like, it was so back and forth. There was maybe a small lead for Boone and Toikan when they held this big send on wave 4 and actually got more damage done to King and Widderson with their income. It felt like they'd taken a lead there. But then Boone leaks hard on 5 to an income resend, and the game is straight back to even, and then it's just back and forth, back and forth. We get this big leak on Boone on 9, and again on 11 versus pure income there from Kingdanzz.
Yeah. It's tough that King was given that free push into Boone's weak wave
Yeah.
and just completely destroyed him.
Yeah, and but that DT send, like you said, Ofma, was just perfect against Boone on 11. Like, even though it's full income, it's actually a very, very good send against what Boone has on the table. Because the Tempest gets 0 value from their passive, the boosted Orchid gets 0 value from the boost, and we see it there. He leaks 75% while being pretty much on value. He actually leaks more creeps than both King and Widderson against the full sends that they received.
Yeah, that was very rough for him.
And from that point, I feel like King and Widderson were just in the lead.
Yeah, King just had a really high work advantage.
Yeah.
Just pushed a lot. Punished Boone on every cent he did.
I think the 14 trade was good for Boone and Toikan, where they sent income King and pretty much
Yeah.
held their full sends there. But in the end, I feel like the rolls kind of let them down. Like, Boone's just had gaping holes in his roll. He just didn't have any fortified or natural units at all. Was very weak on like 16 and obviously on 19. But yeah, I mean, it was a super close game.
Yeah. And that was a really nice hold by Widder.
Yeah, Kingdanzz was actually almost on value on 19.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And just his
Not much
units,
income.
yeah, his units see a Ghost Knight and just fall over. But he had the coilers at least to kill a lot of the wave, which was really important.
Widderson was actually more undervalued than Kingdanzz and held much better.
Yeah, the two havens out of nowhere really helped them.
Yeah. And the Ocean Templar on the Kingdanzz was fantastic as well. Because remember, Wave 19 is doing split damage now. So anything that has regen or lifesteal is just getting a lot more value because it's not being focused down the way it used to.
True.
But yeah, so guys, we've got a tied series on our hands. It's time to go into game number 3.
Bit of a banger.
Oh, absolutely.
I would not expect Boone and Toikan to go back on their word. So let's hope for some.
They've got to YOLO it, right?
Yeah.
They have to. They have to.
Boone asked them, "You like this one too?"
Alright, looks like the players need a couple of minutes. So I might take the time to just run and grab some water while we wait for that. And I will be back in 1 second, guys. Feel free to talk to the stream or take a break yourselves if needed.
Rewatching Witter's hold, it kind of felt like the third ram was not the best send. Like he needed a little more damage in the send. Oh, it looks like they have started the game, and I'm all alone. And we are gonna see the YOLOs again.
Oh, they baited us.
Yes, they pulled the fast one.
The players baited us, guys. So they said 2 minutes and then they started. All right. So a bit sooner than expected, we're here with game number 3, the deciding match now between Abrasiert on the left and Drinking Over Winning on the right, who, by the way, did stick to their word. We have a double YOLO once again in this critical match. So Boone and Toikan, respect.
Boone has managed to locate a fortified unit and a natural unit this time around.
That's just overpowered. How can he possibly lose?
Yeah, and Toikan actually has a pretty juicy Poda roll. Not the Poda mask, but, you know, Poda Daphne is the very powerful, and the Peewees are a fairly cheap tank.
Kingdanz's roll is actually looking pretty janky to me. Like, look at that. He just...
I guess it's Devilfish on 3, and then 5 looks kind of weird.
I think he's going to kind of struggle to build through the early stages of the game. Like, obviously, once he gets past, like, 11 or 12, it's easy because he's got enough gold to build one of those tier 6s every wave. But...
Oh my lord. Toikan's reroll is absolutely insane. Just switch to playing Adam Steed.
Oh, nice. No weak waves, by the way.
True.
Of course. And we see the Green Devil Consort from later.
Also a very solid opener. Yeah. Widderson actually has the opposite role of Kingdanzz. So King has this super greedy role where it's all very high end. And Widderson has a very early game focused role there. His most expensive unit is an elite archer. Right, Widderson does add the buzz here, but Boone, I think, is not going to test him with a snail.
Seemed that way.
Alright, everybody saves.
So King will not be able to get his Devilfish on 3, so he's just gonna go for 3 Peewees, which might hurt him later.
I think 3 Peewees... Yeah, it should give him the hold on 3. But we saw last game he actually chose to accept the leak because he didn't want to have, like, the triple Peewee board.
Well, this time he doesn't have another option.
No, he doesn't. He has to do it.
He has to build those 3 Peewees.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a reroll.
Or actually, he got the 40 odds. Yeah.
Widderson went 6 workers even without the send, by the way.
Yep, and he's only getting this DT again, so he should be fine.
Oh, did King receive a snail or something?
I can't.
Oh, I was just wondering how he got that extra.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand as well.
I think the wave was just long enough that he got his 40 out before income.
Interesting.
Oh, Boone did send the 60, by the way. He added the snail, and that might be enough to cause a leak. It looks like it will be.
Well,
I mean, the Green Devil cleans up as soon as the DT goes down. But I think the DT did its job. Yeah.
yeah, he does get a leak. Not bad.
That's a big leak
Got
there.
him.
61% into a Green Devil.
Oh my lord,
He
Boone
went
just
for-
went 7 workers?
Yeah.
Widder also went for 7 workers, so he's probably fine on force though. This Boone
He's getting his
getting-
consort for sure.
Yeah. And Boone doesn't have much to resend.
Yeah.
But he might still go for the full resend.
Boone getting bailed out a little bit with this super aggressive push.
Hmm.
He would get completely wrecked by a 60 re.
Yeah, he's not even able to get a 5-stack cat here.
Yeah, I think he's maybe regretting his choices. Or there's no way he's shifting right here, right?
Is he actually
Oh my
Wow,
god!
that is
This
balls
guy
of
has some
steel on
ball.
Boone. He would have been completely dead to any send from Kingdanzz.
Yeah, that is actually insane. But that is a game-winning play, so because now you
Yeah.
can just get the Harbinger,
Yeah.
which will allow him to hold the next 3 waves for free.
I feel like when you're
Unless
playing
he's
YOLO, you
holding-
kind of have to make plays like that every now and then, right?
Yeah.
Because your roll is just going to be a bit more janky than usual.
Unless he's just leaking to no sense.
I think he is just leaking to no send, but hopefully he should still have enough gold.
Yeah, I don't know if
He'll need to income send.
Yeah, he definitely needs to send. But oh, yeah, he gets it.
Oh, he gets it.
Okay.
Oh, phew.
All good. But they are saving. They're continuing to
Yeah,
save.
I think they may recognize the situation where it's like he shifted leak no send, he's gonna income.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. They realized that, so they're probably just looking for wave 6. No,
King is
or
up to
7
some
even.
suspicious business here as well.
He really is. Does Toikan go for the full send?
He does not.
He
so
went
that's
for
bit
a
of shame.
lizard, which is also not the best set against Ka.
Yeah, I mean at least it's
You're incoming.
so it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's getting some value for sure. It turns out that King doesn't have a tank, actually, that's good against lizard, so...
So it's the perfect send, is what we're saying?
All planned, but
I think he's just fine, right?
yeah,
totally
he's
fine.
fine.
And Widderson also fine against the Fiend.
But they do continue
Oh.
to save. I
Okay.
don't know how Kingdanzz. Wait, Toikan is not standing, so the Kingdanzz is really happy about that.
Her values are suspicious, to say the least,
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And Widder also has to.
Like, these builds do not hold income, but they're luckily not getting any.
So I wonder if we will see some ogres.
Yeah, those are
this
pretty
is-
deadly on 7, especially into this guy.
This is looking pretty spooky now for Boone and Toikan, because both King and Widderson are going to get ogres pre-income. These guys are going to be in trouble on 7. I'm going to hover over the send area for when the yellow guys arrive. There's 1, there's 2.
Oh god,
Oh
it's
dear.
gonna be brutal.
It's all ogre.
So, but
Ooh, does he go for the read with Yuzora, maybe?
probably.
He's hardened the Mudman. I mean, you're trying, but I don't know it's going to be enough.
I think Boone should realize that the only 2 cents that he will receive is either 3 brutes or ogre, so he
Yeah.
should definitely go for the Yuzora here.
He's just
Oh,
stacking his
he's
cats. It's
stacking
not going to
cat.
be enough, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that,
This ogre is gonna go 1 cat, 2 cat, 3 cat, and
Yeah.
just wreck him. Oh, he's
Oh,
actually
the
just
ogre
going...
left. He's focusing it. Oh no, the cat focuses it. Oh no, does he kill it? He has to kill it now, otherwise he's just
Oh.
leaking 100%.
wait, I think he.
Oh,
I think
wait, he's gonna
does-
fold!
Wait, he's full holding that almost, or
Oh,
no? Well,
he won't
that
fold,
is a
but-
full hold in my book.
Yeah.
Toikan there,
Oh,
72% in his lane. Boone 70%. Okay, that's definitely not the full hold.
Wow.
Well,
That's very important to kill
Widderson
that
leaks
ogre.
30% to the ogre, the brute, sorry, in his lane. And Kingdanzz is fully holding with his boosted veteran. So, right side, the king is dropping. But this could have been much worse.
Yes, the second ogre on the king would have maybe put them at like 40% or something.
Oh yeah.
And they're maybe getting a bit bailed out, but they'll take it for sure.
58% there, yeah. But Jules is heavily favouring Kingdanzz and Widderson at this point.
Yeah, and again, King is just really ahead. His super greed in the mid game, and he never got punished.
Yeah.
I really like his butcher positioning.
Yeah, he's going for
Okay,
what, like Phoenix Bunk?
Yeah, Phoenix Bunk, yeah. That's actually a pretty cool setup.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting build that only happens because of building close to the top, where you can put melee units right next to ranged ones and still get the dump the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, and King just pushing his lead, sending income.
But let's see.
He's so far ahead, actually. He just has 35 more income than anybody else in the game. And
Yeah,
more
with this
workers, and he's
build-
not behind in value.
Uh-oh.
They are going for the late so.
They're going to test him. The imps, though.
But
Like, we already see the
Kingdanzz-
veterans on King's Lane.
Yeah, and you also might have a bunk if he sends again.
Oh, and Boone actually, King's
Oh, yeah, he
Dino King
definitely-
Ops
Oh,
makes
he
him
is getting a
50% here. Wow.
Yeah, a little unlucky. The dino just, his cat getting stuck on the dino forever.
Wow, that's too bad there for Boone. 50% against a single dino. That's just not it.
Yeah, and gonna be another income from Widder and King. Or is King actually saving?
He is.
Oh, he already got the bunk, I see. So
yeah,
he doesn't care.
didn't need the income. He might go for king upgrades if he feels like it, but probably he's just gonna save.
I mean, he's
Yeah.
pretty much on value there. He's minus 90. Widderson, he's going to be about the same when he finishes building.
Yeah, he can get the samurai, he could get the orchid. He has
A
lots
lot
of options.
Yeah.
And he'll go for the easiest one, which is building the unit that is doubly good typing.
Yeah. That's
But
kind of his
also
only
it's-
unit, though, for Wave 9.
Oh, he has the orchid, which is really strong as well.
It's only an infiltrator, though.
Yeah, like if he decided to upgrade it.
Ah, I see.
Straight onto the brute. God Gamer.
Absolutely.
Another
okay.
brute is getting targeted.
Pinged at least? Yeah, it'll get focused now. And the samurai is doing some pretty nice
The
damage.
Samurai's living forever. Yeah, he's getting
But
same
it
value
looks
out
like
of
they're
that. He
both
will
leaking.
leak the rest now. But King, he's leaking small as well over here. So 60%
Yeah.
from Widderson, 42 from King. This is a bit of damage done here.
He'll take that and Toikan holding his sons. King now has the huge lead
Yeah.
of having 200 Mythium in the bank.
Yeah.
So I wonder when King will decide to send. Yeah, okay, he
Wave
just
10?
decides to 10.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Boone does
Yeah.
have a Berserker
He
in
does
his
have
role.
Berserker, yeah. He might be able to get 2 Zerkers out if he decides to sell a cat. But maybe... Okay.
See what he goes for.
He's got to build for Wave 10 here. If he thinks the sun's
Yeah.
coming 11 or 12 and builds incorrectly, he's going to just be in a ton of trouble. And there's the fire.
That is
Fire.
Uh-oh.
pretty good against an ogre, but
It's not tanking though,
Oh,
he's got the
but
highest
he-
speed.
Oh.
Oh, no.
He's greeting the positioning for wave
Oh
11.
no!
So this is gonna be very bad for Boone.
He's read it
Yes.
wrong. He's read it wrong. And Toikan... Okay, Toikan will hold. He's got double Daphnes here. But... this is just... Boone is dead here.
Yeah,
He
Fire
is
Lord
gonna
being
go
the last
for
unit
it.
alive. It's very suboptimal.
Going for a bit of a leak, to say the
A
least.
bit of a
And
leak. Yeah.
this is also a leak on Toikan's side.
Oh, wow.
Daphne's.
Oops.
Guess he just had no tanks. Because his
they
Mudman was
are
dehardened.
really close to dying here, actually.
I think
They
they
just die. That's a full HP
just
ogre.
dead.
That is crazy.
So after a super close game 2, it looks like Widderson and Kingdanzz are just taking no prisoners here in
They
game
just-
3. This is a very, very
Okay. Oh!
Oh!
Okay, they do stay alive for
A very,
40
very
HP,
easy survival by Toikan and Boone is what I was going to say.
but
Quick, they need to put that region in now.
but what is their play now?
Yeah.
They have some Mythium,
King.
they have some workers.
King
Can I just
doesn't
ask,
really-
like, what the hell is going on in this game for Kingdanzz to not be on fire?
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. I mean,
I guess it's the Mythium they have?
yeah, they have a Mythium advantage, so
Pawn
just-
shop opened up.
It feels like King is leagues ahead in this game.
yeah,
How
he
can he
is.
not be on shutdown?
Yeah, he should be.
So you're targeting like maybe 13 on Widder's lane, but how would King ever leak 13? Like you
Well,
would
King
need
King
double
just showed
4-eye.
his, his
double
Fire Lord,
4-eye.
right? So they didn't know he had that before.
Yeah.
And maybe they were thinking 13 looked really good against King's Gun and Bunk, which it did. But obviously now he's going to have a lifesteal Phoenix. So what are you going to do, guys?
That is
The problem is they can't leak.
that is their issue.
So even if they're strong on a wave, they need to really hold the wave,
Yeah.
and their values are gonna drop. And King and Widder are gonna be fine to save with them.
King and Widderson are both on value already.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
their income is actually doing wonders for them.
Boone building for this wave as expected.
Kingdan's now finally on shutdown.
And a good read. Prepping for the wave that he looks for some.
Can they ever go
Toik-
14 on Toikan and Boone?
Toikan could go for the double 4 here if he wants to.
He
And
does.
he
He is
will.
going for it. Well, he doesn't get the second one in income, unfortunately, but...
I'm sure he knows he needs to get.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh.
this is really bad for him. He didn't
Yeah.
go for the double 4-eye.
It's really bad.
Double 4 is the only way of leaking Kingdanz's build.
Kingdan's is pretty much
Not
on
as
value there.
Phoenix
He's,
is just gonna smurf.
yeah.
It even has Butcher on it, or Head Chef on it. Like it's really
Yeah.
hard to kill.
And on valleys, so this will just
That
be
is the
easy
favorite
hold.
way. And it's probably
Oh.
going to be easy holds for both of them.
Yeah,
Boone,
but
I
also
think, should be
then-
able to hold his own send, which is nice. Toikan's gone for Harden, so he might not leak
gonna-
too badly.
Gonna boost his Orchids? Yeah,
Yeah, he
okay.
is. Yeah, and look at this. With only the single 4-eyes, it doesn't attack the Phoenix ever. In fact, and the Phoenix is just on 0 mana, doing a million DPS there. In fact, let's click onto King's Lane. We can see how much damage his Phoenix is doing. Now the 4-eyes is on it, but it's getting sniped.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
he even has a little
actually-
backup Fire Lord.
Yeah, the backup Fire Lord there. But even, meanwhile, Widderson's holding his own lane.
Okay, we see one creep and the 4-eye going through. We have to remember that they are literally
Yeah.
1 HP, so I
I
don't
think
think
this
that
might kill them.
this will
might
kill
just
them,
kill them.
actually.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Oh
that
no,
is
the
sad.
split tanking, is it enough?
Just one 4-eyes.
It's never enough. The 4-eyes is going to kill them.
King.
Bang! There it is!
Victory.
Well, very close games.
That's a sad way to lose a game there for Boone and Toikan, but fair play to those guys. Sticking to their guns, double YOLO, all 3 matches in the semi-final of the Nova Cup. Respect, guys. But yeah, this game felt very one-sided for King and Widderson.
Yeah, this game was just so much in King's favor.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, when you look it over, King pushed 2 workers on 4 to a snail with no tanks in its role.
Yeah. Like he was undervalued for 5, 6, and 7. And on 7 he only got income king, so he didn't even get punished for his
Yeah.
undervalue.
Toikan could
Like
have
even-
sent 80 Mythium on 5, right? I think King would have leaked
Yeah.
half
he
the
could've-
wave versus like 4 snails.
Yeah, probably.
Even the 7 wasn't horrible, just the leak on 8 was really bad. Like it really
Yeah, the
it messed up their
50%
9
against the
send.
Dino is
Mm.
is just not it.
And then Boone reading they're sent wrong building for 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely
Oh, no.
gutting. Because he would probably have done okay if he'd managed to put down 2 berserkers, right?
Yeah, but I assume Toikan wanted to cover 10.
Yeah.
So.
But even
Just
Toikan, like, he
decided-
just didn't have enough. With his de-hardened golem there, he just had no tanks to keep his
Yeah.
Daphnes alive.
Doesn't have a tank. And I guess he also wasn't really expecting that big of a resend, because he
Yeah.
did receive 180 on 9.
He did.
So they probably just held safe on 10.
And they were so close to dead. The post-game screen is actually showing 0% there on 10.
Yeah, they somehow miraculously survived the 0
Yeah.
in the first game.
And then all it took was a half HP golem and a 4 eyes to end the game there. But yeah, well played, Kingdanzz and Widderson.
Yeah, really, really nice play from King and Witter just working together. And Witter's long save is definitely enabling King to play super aggressively, like
Yep.
presuming that Toikan will never go for a leak and just income King, feeling the pressure.
Yeah. Alright, I'm assuming that the players would probably want 5 or 10 minutes break. So let me just have a quick check.
Looks like Aviator and Chuvis won their other
Oh, let's have a
semifinal.
quick look through their matches, see what we can see. Yeah, so it was a 2-1 there for Aviator and Juvis. So that means the grand final is going to be Abrasiert versus Fiesta.
That's spicy.
Yeah, the top 2 seeds.
Unlucky there for Burnt and Green going out of their semi-final match. And same for Boone and Toikan, but it looks like both games were pretty close. Going 2-1.
Hmm.
Something interesting that I had saw in King's match history was that King and Witter had played some practice games against Aviator and Chuvis before the tournament.
Oh, okay, so that's quite
And they
interesting then.
Yeah, so they might have some experience already.
They've maybe felt each other out a little bit. They're kind of ready to see how they're going to play. Obviously, that practice paid off because they took down a very good team just now with Boone and Toikan. And likewise for Aviator and Juvis, winning against Green and Julian. I'm just waiting to hear back from Aviator.
Yeah. Looking over the last game, it looks like pretty chill early games, and then both teams going for a long save, and Aviator and Chuvis just held their nerve a little bit longer.
Alright guys, so I've just heard from the players now, and we are going to have a quick 5-minute break. So the game will start at 8:20 European time, which is about 6 minutes from now. So I think it's probably a good idea for the casters and the players to take a quick break and just make sure that everyone is back here for 20 past to start the next game. So yeah, guys, we will see you right here in 5 minutes time.
Lovely.